Good evening, everyone. We are here with yet another virtual session, and this session is all about lifestyle and nutrition. But the presenter who is there with us, it's very wonderful. Malvika Gupta is a nutritionist, MSc Clinical Nutrition and Dietetics. She have completed her 200-hour certified yoga teacher from Sri Sri School of Yoga and from Kevaledhamma Yoga Institute, Lonavala, and she was invited at the International E-commerce E-conference on nutritional and food science organized by United Research from London, UK in December 2020. And her article were featured twice in the famous Tulip magazine on mindful eating and yoga. She is currently working with a research project on mindful eating amongst various fitness practitioners, which is the most important topic nowadays, as I feel, because every fitness practitioner is looking forward for a new kind of nutrition. And she's also volunteer with the Art of Living organization. She also worked with several other organizations, Teach for Change, and she also worked as a counselor with Voice for Girls and with Outfile Outbound Training Company. With this small introduction, I want to welcome you on your growth platform. If I miss anything, please do carry forward the same, and you'll will start the session. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Bhavat, for that introduction. So, hello everyone. My name is Malvika, and I'm gonna just share my screen. Just a second. Okay. So, I'm here to talk about lifestyle and nutrition today, which is one of my favorite topics and something which I deal with on a day-to-day basis. So, this is one topic which really began to kindle the love for nutrition within me. So why lifestyle and nutrition? Why not just nutrition? So I'm going to start off with the first slide, which says circadian rhythm. So if you've seen, just imagine if all of us, had just proper nutrition. You're having a proper diet, the appropriate amount of carbohydrates, proteins, fats, everything in your diet. But at the end of the day, just imagine if you're not getting that sufficient amount of sleep. Or let's look at not about what you're eating, but about when you're eating it, and as well as how you're eating it. So in this particular presentation today, we'll be focusing more on, how you're eating it and when you're eating it, because all of us are pretty much, acknowledged to what we must be eating in a day. So circadian rhythm, which is also called as the internal body clock. From our ancestral time, um, we've been following this. As soon as it's 7 or 8, in the olden days, people used to start going to sleep, making their bed and everything. But now, as the generations have passed, we our sleeping patterns, everything has changed with the technology, with the mobile phones, the gadgets, the TV, the Netflix shows. We've just messed up with our internal body clocks by delaying on our sleeping patterns. So that's something which is causing a lot of problems today. And also, before moving ahead, why should you know about this, or what exactly is important about nutrition and lifestyle? If you see most of the disorders today, like being a girl and being a nutritionist, the people who come to me today and the amount of girls who are suffering with PCOS and PCOD is so much, like I can't tell you. Not just PCOS, also the other diseases like diabetes. All of these are nothing but metabolic disorders, and these can be treated by just treating your lifestyle, nutrition along with lifestyle, and both are important. So circadian rhythm is it's the physical, mental, and behavioral changes that follows a 24-hour cycle. And these natural processes respond primarily to the light and dark and affect most living things, including animals, plants, and microbes. Have you ever heard, there are animals which are nocturnal. Yeah, nocturnal means animals which go and sleep at night. we are also one of the nocturnal animals, but we are the only nocturnal animals as human beings that can delay our sleep cycle. Yeah, but animals, if you observe the birds, the animals, they wake up with the sunrise and they go back to sleep with the sunset. But we just delay our senses, like we don't listen to it. Just one more message, just one more episode, and that's how like the entire process gets messed up in the body. So listening to the body is one really important thing. And so how could you do that? That is aligning your body with the sun. So you sleep when it's sunset. So you could take it as, of course, you can't sleep today in today's modern world. You especially can't sleep immediately after the sunset. So you could at least have your dinner by 7 or 8 p.m. and maximum 9. Okay, if you're a working person, if like you're a businessman and you can't do that, maximum to 9 o'clock. And that would really help you with your digestion 2 hours before your sleep. So aligning your body with the sun, and then eating your dinner by sunset, which I just explained, and sleep early to maximize the production of melatonin, the darkness hormone. In case your work doesn't allow you to maintain a sleep routine to help your body adapt, and have blackout curtains in your bedroom. So this is one really important point. If you're not able to sleep, make sure that your entire room is black. One test you could do is, just take your hand forward and see if you can see it. If you can see it, it means your room is not dark enough. So black out, put all curtains, switch on or switch off all the lights, and you really get a good sleep. I guarantee you that. So yes, aligning yourself with the internal body clock. This is one thing. So moving ahead, we have emotional well-being. A lot of times, we take this for granted. As soon as you wake up in the morning, some of us, like most of the students or the businessman and businesswomen, what we do is we open our phones and start checking our WhatsApp, the news, or notifications and everything. Just imagine opening a window, a Google Chrome or a window with so many tabs. Will your laptop work for long? It's going to start getting stuck or it's going to get hang. So just imagine doing that to yourself, opening so many windows in your head early morning after a fresh 9 or 8 hours of sleep. So yes, just make sure you don't use your cell phone the first thing in the morning, because that will also help you really balance your stress levels. So manage your stress levels, attain a work-life balance, take some time out for yourself. So when you wake up in the morning, if you should not check your phone, you must ask me, Malvika, then what must we be doing? So yes, take that time out to do some deep breathing. You can take that time out to, practice gratefulness, setting an intention for the day, making a to-do list, doing your morning rituals of brushing your teeth, going to the bathroom, taking a walk, going and watching the sunlight. Even just watching the sunlight can also help you reset your entire circadian rhythm. And this has been scientifically proven. So, yes, you can do that. And then practice deep breathing, yoga, or meditation, which are our ancient ancestral practices in India. So, moving ahead, I'm going to talk more about deep breathing because it's it's one of the most underrated topic today. You know, we eat 2 kgs of food in a day, and if you round it up to a month, it would be like around 60 kgs. And if you calculate it for a year, it would be like a tons on tons of food. But have you ever thought about how much air we breathe in a day? We breathe about 10,000 liters of air in a day. Just 10,000 liters of air you're consuming in a day. So, isn't it important? We never really think about it. So yeah, we all have limited breaths and use them wisely. So when you wake up in the morning, take that time, at least just 5 minutes for yourself, practice deep breathing. So you really feel energized. And, all your emotions are connected to your breath. This is another one of the greatest facts that when I got to know, I was blown about. Um, If when you're very angry, just observe your breath. It's really fast when you're very angry. And just observe your breath when you're very happy. It's so calm and, blissful. And again, notice your breath when you're really sad. You'll notice that when you cry, have you noticed your breath? You're trying to take a deep breath just to, cry. So your breath and your emotions are related, and just by taking the control of your breath, practicing the pranayamas, which our ancestors have taught us, they have given us this wisdom and the knowledge of yoga. So practicing pranayamas will really help you build up on that. So breath is prana, which is nothing but life force, and is needed to energize every cell of the body. So breathe slow and breathe deep. And next, we have physical activity. There's a research, a new study by WHO, which states that sitting is the new smoking. The amount of time all of us are sitting at home is literally as harmful as smoking. So, especially in the pandemic, just imagine the amount of time all of us are spending sitting in front of the laptops or in front of the TV. So yeah, sitting has been called as the new smoking. So make sure you keep, moving yourself, keeping yourself active. You can do Surya Namaskar, or you can do some light walking, or you could do an HIIT workout, which is very effective for weight loss, or something that really, shakes up every cell of the body. So yeah, make sure you do some physical activity at least 20 minutes in a day. And also remember that overtraining is as bad as undertraining. So don't undertrain and don't overtrain. Don't overdo a workout and don't underdo a workout as well. Yeah. And then the last and my most favorite is sleep. So why is sleep important? Sleep is one of the most underrated things I feel, because we just take it for granted, especially students. They have that exam the next day and they'll be like, I'll just, I'll sleep, I'll study this chapter and then I'll sleep. But, sleep deprivation actually makes you dumb. So how does it make you dumb? There's something called as the cerebrospinal fluid in the brain. Okay, if it's too complicated, you must be knowing that there's the fluid which runs. Imagine this is your brain, and there's fluid that's running in between the tissues. You must have seen the structure of brain. So when you're not sleeping well, this gets contracted, and when you get that sleep, you really allow that fluid to reach deeper parts of the brain. You allow that fluid to seep within, to let that toxic protein, the amyloid beta protein, to get flushed out. So every time you sleep, your the cerebrospinal fluid is flushed out and that protein is flushed out. The neurodegenerative disorders like Alzheimer's, which the adults are facing, is mainly because of this accumulation of this protein in the brain. So just imagine sleep deprivation can make you dumb and also lower your memory, because your body is not able to flush out the toxin, you're not getting that refreshing sleep. And sleep is the time where all the healing of your body happens. Do you see babies? They sleep the most because that's when the growth process is taking place. Also, do you notice whenever you have fever or when you're sick, you sleep the most? So again, sleeping allows the degeneration, healing of the tissues, and really energizes you. So sleep is mysterious. It re-energizes the body cells, clears the brain of toxicity, plays a huge role in learning and memory. If students watching this, just remember, if you sleep well, it really helps you recall what you've learned in a much better way than when you sleep deprived. There's also a study where if you haven't slept well, next day during the exams, you're most probable to go and sleep in the exam for 5 to 10 minutes than writing the paper. So just make sure you get some good sleep, study well, prioritize your time well. Yeah. And most importantly, sleep deprivation makes you fat. And how does it do that? There are two hormones, ghrelin and leptin. So, ghrelin is one of the hunger hormones, which is known to increase your hunger. And leptin is the hormone secreted by the fat cells and is known to reduce the appetite. So, when you don't sleep well, the amount of ghrelin hormone is increased. So, that means you feel more hungry. Have you ever noticed those midnight cravings you have? Or when you wake up in the morning and you're sleep deprived, you really feel hungry. So all that is your ghrelin in action. And leptin is your appetite regulation. So again, that is in play, ghrelin and leptin. So make sure you sleep well so that these hormones work effectively and your quality of the day also really improves if you have a good sleep. And if you don't have a good sleep, also remember those days where you feel very irritated, frustrated, or you go to school, college, or your office, and just remember those days where you feel really agitated, irritated, and you're shouting at everyone at work. So, yes, just getting a good night's sleep can really change the quality of your day and how you feel. Lastly, this is my favorite topic, which is mindful eating. This also happens to be a topic where I conducted my research on. So, eating mindfully is nothing but, keeping all the distractions away. Usually, how do we eat now? If you just look back and just notice, you either, some of us may, of course, be eating on the dining table, but majority of us today either eat in front of the television or we have our phones next to us. Either you're talking to someone, either you're texting someone, or you're just doing something or the other while you're eating. So mindful eating is really, just sitting, taking those, taking that moment to enjoy the food, taking that moment to appreciate everything that's on your plate. Have you seen in India where, uh, like, just remember those. Take an example of a temple where people are, really made to sit down, given a plate, serve the food, and what do? They all pray before they eat. So just even practicing that gratefulness from within will, really help you enjoy that food and really help in the good absorption of that food. So chew slowly and portion control. Really, chewing is one of the major things which we take it for granted again. 70% of your digestion happens in the mouth. Yes. So, do you remember the times where your adults told you chew 32 times as a kid? So, that's exactly the reason why, because most like 70% of your digestion happens in the mouth. And your mouth has saliva, which is alkaline in nature. So when you're chewing really nicely, your food get alkalized, and when it goes inside the body, it has, the body doesn't have to produce that much amount of acid to digest the food. So chewing slowly and really enjoying that flavor. And when you enjoy the flavor, there's most likely that you will be aware of the portion that you're consuming. You wouldn't be, gobbling on the food. Eating mindfully, chewing slowly, and then you can just follow this by remembering three S's. So number one is sitting down, number two is chewing the food slowly, and number three is silently and mindfully. So just remember these three S's, and it's really gonna help you in the long run. And next is eliminating refined sugar and processed foods and not going for fat diets. So when you're really listening to your body and listening to your body cues, whatever your body is signaling you, you'll really know what it needs and what it does not need. So you won't have to go for a fat diet because you're eating mindfully and your health is at a good pace. And sugar is not really suggested because just 1 teaspoon of sugar can lower down your immunity by 50% for 3 hours. So keep that in mind, especially in this time of pandemic where all of us are running behind the term immunity boosters, immunity yoga, immunity this, immunity that. So just imagine eliminating sugar is really going to help you in that. And next, opt for home cooked meals because that's the most precious and made with a lot of love. And I think it's one of the best things that you could eat when compared to processed foods. So, of course, when you don't have an option, you can go ahead and order, but the amount of, you know, the the amount of energy and the amount of love you get when you eat your home cooked food is really different than when you're ordering from outside. So you can always choose what's best for you. And yeah, I'd like to conclude with that. So yeah,
So thank you so much. I would like to ask few questions regarding your presentation. Uh,
yeah,
sure. So the questions would be, first question of mine is, whenever we say there is a hormonal disturbance when we change our circadian rhythm, you have explained in your this presentation. How would you guide to the patients or clients that you should regularize your sleep cycle? Otherwise, the change in the weight of your body or change in the BMI is the cause of your is the cause for disturbed sleep. So how will deal with that factor?
yes. So this works by, educating or just making them aware of this fact, because most of the people today are not even aware of it. So usually when you make them aware of the fact that, sleeping well, eating on time is really going to affect your circadian rhythm, they tend to follow it. So how can you do that? So just make sure when it's sunset, like 6 or 7 or 8, you eat your dinner within that window frame of maximum 8 o'clock, and you can go to sleep after 2 hours of that. So maximum 10 o'clock would be your maximum, schedule. And right now there are a lot of apps on the phone. So you could also download some sleep trackers to keep you reminded of the time that you have to go to sleep. So that's one thing that could work. And the next is waking up early. So that would be around 6 or 7, whatever works for you. But just make sure you get a good sleep. So if you sleep on time, you'll automatically wake up on time. So this is automatically gonna set up your circadian rhythm. And one more point, very important point, which I had told. Um, when you wake up in the morning, make sure you get that sunlight. Just go and at least watch that sunlight for 2 to 3 minutes. That'll really, when that sunlight, there's a research which says, and even in yoga, there's a kriya where you literally go and sun gaze. So it's just the scientific explanation behind this, that when the sun rays fall on you, it really goes and tells your brain that yes, it is morning, and it releases that hormone. So watching the sunlight, sleeping early, and automatically waking up early, this is really gonna help.
Thank you so much. The answer was really what we say up to the mark. And my next question would be, we say eating mindfully. So most of the people, when they eat, they would look towards some kind of technical aspects like screens. So are they eating mindfully in that perspective?
No, so this is the first principle of mindful eating. So that is called as distraction, which means people are distracted either, with their thoughts or with a gadget. So that does not come under mindful eating. So mindful eating is really, keeping your gadgets away, really just taking that attention by enjoying that food on the plate. You can like pray for the food that you've got, and you can just appreciate the color, and you really start enjoying the food, and that would come under mindful eating. And another way you can take mindful eating is also when you're eating with your family. When you're eating with your family, you're just in that moment, you're enjoying your food, you're just eating with a lot of love, laughter, sharing memories, sharing moments. So that would again come under mindful eating, and you don't have to, and in those cases you will not even use your phone. So I hope that answers your question.
Yeah, definitely. How you carry forward your journey in this field of nutrition and dietetics, and to whom you inspire in your career?
I am greatly inspired by one of the nutritionists, that's Luke Coutinho, and my master Sri Sri Ravi Shankar ji. So you could inspired me to take nutrition look at nutrition with not just what you're eating but with a point of view of lifestyle, which is something that all of us are lacking. And my master, that's Sri Ravi Shankar ji, he has really taught me about breath, emotions, the meditation and the yoga part, where all of this is binded and interrelated. So you need both nutrition as well as lifestyle. They can't just go single handedly. You really need both to have a good lifestyle.
As
Yeah.
you said, good lifestyle. There are multiple terms and multiple coachings, multiple workshops, sessions are coming up on the term itself, lifestyle. But according to you, every individual have different kind of lifestyle according to the person individual. So how you differentiate that lifestyle, how it should be? Because there are different age groups, there are different professions. So how you differentiate a lifestyle term in that perspective?
Yes, that's a very nice question. So as I just explained that lifestyle would involve your sleep, your breath, starting the day in a different way, eating mindfully, so all these changes. But apart from that, how can we know if someone's having a good lifestyle? So one way to look at it is through, at the end of the day, how are you feeling? Do you feel energetic? Do you feel lazy, or have you having enough sleep? Are you feeling groggy, or are you feeling frustrated? How is your quality of the day? How is your digestion? How is how are you doing during the day? Like all of this will really summarize to how your lifestyle is. So you can also look at a person's skin, person's energy levels, and just how the person is feeling. All of this would really round up to their lifestyle.
Okay. So I'll not ask many questions, but I have one last question to you.
Sure, go
What,
ahead.
yeah, so what are the three qualities or three things or three factors you see or observe when a client or patient comes to you?
The three qualities that I see when a client comes to me is, first of all, a very important quality which I've recently started observing is, um, some clients come with a mindset of asking for help. So those are the clients. Most of them have some disease like diabetes or PCOS, and they're really looking forward to you for a change, and they're really relying on you. So that's one quality of, they're asking for help and they're ready to listen to you. And the second quality some clients come to me is with a doubting nature. Like, uh, these people are mostly, wanting to lose weight. So they come to me and they are like, really, like, all of these things which I've told you sound so simple. So when I'm inculcating this along with a diet plan to a client, they have a lot of doubts and they go like, really, would this happen? Can I do this? So another quality is a lot of doubts. So remember, you'd always have to trust the person. So if you're going to a doctor, you only go to him because you trust him. So when you're coming to a dietitian, you go to them with a trust that you will be cured or you will lose your weight. So that is the second one. And the third one is, I would say, being honest. Some people don't really tell you everything. Like when you're asking them, what had you eaten or where have you gone wrong? I think the third factor would be, being really honest with what the person is asking. So that would really help me to diagnose as to how I can help them further.
The last point is really good, and it should be there. The person who is diagnosing the patient or treating the patient of any kind from any field, if he or she is very honest to the concerned person, our part is dealt, half part is dealt in that way itself. So yeah, so covering that all the questions in your presentation, it was so glad that you have come on our platform and covered so much information in just 30 minutes of time. So I must say thank you so much to come on our platform. And what would be your parting thoughts who are watching this session now?
So my parting thoughts would be, to conclude or just to give a message to all of you out there, would be, don't really go run behind fad diets or to the girls watching the session, don't go run behind, wanting to just lose weight, or not just girls, but the teenagers or anyone watching this struggling to lose weight. I tell you, this is your journey. Don't run behind or fall for fad diets. Listen to your body, know what works for you, figure out what works for you. Okay, you don't have to follow there's no perfect diet plan, there's no perfect thing. Your body is unique and you have to see what works for you. So first of all, start inculcating these lifestyle changes, inculcating these small things which I've told you. And I guarantee you will see that change within you. So yes, be confident, have that faith within yourself. If you're trying to lose weight, trying to overcome a disease or anything as such, start living your life more mindfully, and yes, it will happen. So that would be my message to all of you.
Thank you so much. Eat mindfully, eat healthy. That would be the ideal state, but if we give 100% to that ideal state, we will be healthy.
Yes.
So with your this message, I conclude and thanks to you for your very good session, which will help many people as a student also, as a human being also, to give a healthy lifestyle. Thank you so
And
much to come on our platform. Thank you.
thank you so much.